Today we're going to be taking a look at the best wiring options for your 2011 Dodge Durango. Here we have the Hopkins, and that's going to be part number HM11142175. Now here we have the Tekonsha, that's going to be part number 118552. And here we have the Curt, this is going to be part number C56162. And finally, on the end here we have another Curt, and this is going to be part number C56133. Now all of our kits are going to install relatively the same and give us the same end result. We're going to have a 4-pole flat trailer end connector to hook up to our trailer, and our wiring is going to live on the outside of our vehicle. Now that we've gotten that covered, why don't we take a closer look and look at some of the differences. Now one of the major differences that we'll notice right away is the way our harnesses look. Now the Curt, the Tekonsha, and the Hopkins here are all going to use a converter box, which is also going to protect our vehicle of any issues that we may have or may arise on the trailer end and prevent it from backfeeding, causing damage to our electrical system on our vehicle. With the Curt on the end here, it doesn't provide you with any converter box to provide any protection against feedback, but it is going to provide you with a 4-pole flat and is more meant for an occasional use of towing and if you don't tow a whole lot. Now our Curt here with our converter box, it is going to use a fuse holder and be fuse protected. Now it comes with a 10 amp fuse, and it's going to be plenty of protection to keep your vehicle safe and any adequate amount of lights that may be on your trailer. Now both the Hopkins and the Tekonsha, they both also use a fuse holder and protect your vehicle that way, but they come with a higher amp fuse rating. They come with a 15 amp fuse. So if you have a larger trailer with more lights on it, these are going to suit you better, and they're going to keep your trailer and your vehicle more protected. And our Curt here has no fuse protection, and there's no fuse holder in the kit. Now as far as installation goes, our three here, our Curt, Tekonsha, and our Hopkins, are all going to install relatively the same. We're going to use T-connectors to connect to our taillight harness, and then we're going to run a wire from our converter box up to the battery, and that's where the fuse holder is going to go in place. Now the Curt on the end without the converter box is going to be a little bit different. We still have our T-connectors that we're going to plug into our taillights, as well as a ground, but there's no converter box, so it's going to be using our vehicle's electrical and wiring system to power the lights for our trailer. Now since our wiring is staying on the outside of the vehicle at all times, a dust cap is very important. Now here on our Tekonsha, it is permanently attached to our 4-pole, whereas with the Hopkins and the other two Curts, they are removable and replaceable. Now each one of our kits is going to come with all the necessary hardware, wiring, and connectors to get everything hooked up, but the Hopkins is actually going to take it a little bit further, and they're going to give you a little bit of dielectric grease, which I always recommend when working with electronics. Now Tekonsha actually gave you some extra nice pieces in your hardware kit. They provided you with some heat shrink butt connectors, which are going to protect your vehicle from any rust and corrosion, and along with multiple zip ties, so you'll be able to run your wire and secure everything down. So to sum everything up, as far as ease of installation goes, I'm going to have to give it to the Curt without the converter box, because there's only a few connections that we have to make at our taillights, and there's no need for us to run a wire from a converter box all the way to our battery. Now as far as vehicle protection goes, I'm going to have to give it to the Curt, the Tekonsha, and the Hopkins that have the converter boxes, because they're going to keep any kind of backfeeding or any issues that we may have in our trailer from coming back and feeding back into our vehicle. Now as far as electrical current capacity goes, I'm going to have to give it to the Tekonsha and the Hopkins, purely because they are rated higher and they do provide us a higher amp fuse to protect our vehicle. And that'll finish up the look at the best wiring options for your Dodge Durango.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.